friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to do a monthly reading wrap up. Here are everything that I read in January. First, we have Tea and Necromancy by Saber Skinship. This is my first dramione read of the year and was also my first dramione fic in maybe almost over 6 months, so I was very lucky that this turned out to be a 5-star read. This is an 8-year story told from Draco's point of view as he observed Hermione declaring that she's dead without anybody being concerned about that statement, so he kind of took it upon himself to figure out what's wrong with Hermione Granger. Now that synopsis gripped me because like how unique and like how cute it is. I am to live and to die for a softy Draco, and I wasn't disappointed in this fic at all. The writing is super witty. It shows Draco's point of view very well, and I feel like the banter between Draco and Hermione in this story is just to die for. Author really allowed Hermione's and Draco's personality to shine through individually. It has just everything that I need. Short, it's faster paced but slow development. We also have sigh, not pop. I feel like their love is so pure and so genuine in this story, so if you're looking for a soft love piece, I feel like this is going to be the fic for you to read right now. And usually with shorter story, I always feel like I want something more at the end of the story, but not with this one. Like there's nothing I want to change about this story. It's just so perfect, so please go ahead and read it, okay? Next, we have Malfoy Advocates by Bella Medusa, and this is one of the stories that I mentioned in my 2024 TBR. In that video, I said that I didn't really know where the story was going just by reading the synopsis, and after finishing the story, I feel like that's intended by the author, because you should go into this story just like I did. You should read this story just blind, not knowing anything. This is a post-war piece with a super intricate and well-crafted timeline with a web of characters who all serve a role in this storyline, and some of them are characters that you don't really see very often in fanfiction, so it's kind of very refreshing for me to read as well. The timeline in this fic is non-linear, and it's also comprised of smaller storyline as well, but it wasn't hard for me to follow. Instead, it was super page-turning. Makes you want to read more and more to find out like what's going to happen next, and the feeling at the end of like every piece of the puzzle falling into play is like super rewarding. If you guys need a little bit of a nudge with this story though, I can guarantee that the writing and the setup of this story is just top-notch, and the characterization is super intricate, and I feel like the author had thought out every single detail and every single character in this story. This story is also spicy, and it has like spicy art from the author themselves. Like how can a person be so talented? You are going to have a super high quality read. The next story that I read is a Satasugu piece, and it's called Magic Doesn't Make Love Easier by I Love Geto Suguru. And this author, I Love Geto Suguru, is one of my favorite authors in the Satasugu world. This though is a JJK X Hogwarts. I just gotta read it because it's very rare that my universe collide, okay? This is a story about the kids trying to figure out who Gojo is married to, and this plot line isn't the most unique when it comes to Satasugu, but I feel like the execution is super cute, and the author really shined through with the execution of this fic. And I love that every single JJK character made an appearance and has a role that fits so well into the Hogwarts world. There is also a Mortentia in this story, and you guys already know how I feel about a Mortentia, so I feel like this is a perfect bedtime story because it makes me feel so good after I read it. And I just love that every single character in this story is alive, is thriving, and is in love. So this is super healing for you guys depressed JJK fan out there, okay? The next story is also another piece of Satasugu that I really love, and it's called Term and Condition by Bitter Moon. This is a no power alternative universe story where Geto is a lawyer and Gojo is like a public figure, and we have a fake dating trope in this story, okay? Fake dating is also one of the favorite things for me to read, so I immediately jumped on this story and I wasn't disappointed. I love how the author preserved the history even in this alternative universe. We can still see like all the angst, all the feelings. In the end, we work with a happy ending, and for me that's like a perfect balance. So I had a very good time reading this story. The next piece that I read is also a Satasugu piece, and this is a longer Satasugu piece that I have ever encountered, and it's called Your Name on My List by TW. This is a Hanahaki DZ fic, and the reason why I started this story is because one of my favorite Hermione fanfiction ever is called Amor Deliria Nervosa by Cup of Madness, and that is a Hermione piece with Hanahaki DZ. And I love that fic so much that I kind of like anchor myself with the Hanahaki DZ. But maybe I was setting the bar a little bit too high, and I'm also pretty biased. I think it's a very good premise story that just doesn't stir enough emotions in me. But if you guys are into Satasugu and Hanahaki DZ, I feel like this is one of the unique pieces out there that has this trope for you to enjoy. Next, I read a series of Satsugu one-shots, and these are the ones that I kind of read before my bedtime just so I can reduce my screen time and also feel good about them. The first one is No Homo Right by Nia Burke, and this is like a super stupid read with like idiots in love. They didn't realize that they were dating even though they were doing every single couple thing in this world, and it's just like a super feel good fic that I read. The next one though is an angsty piece, and it's called You Are a Fool by Scarlet Azure, and this is a combo piece between Satosugu and Itafushi. This is a story about Satoru recognized his parallel in Megumi's life, with Megumi falling in love with Itadori. A dead man walking occurs in itself. If you are a JJK fan, you will already know the parallel between Satosugu and Itafushi. So I didn't really feel really good after I finished reading this story. My heart broke for all four of them. But the next work that I read is called Decennial Days by Hamster Queenhor, and this is also another favorite Satosugu author for me. This is another idiots in love story. They didn't realize that they was dating 10 years later, okay? So it's also like a super stupid fluffy fake but also angsty, so it's like a well balanced for me, and it's also a story that hurt me but gave me a happy ending at the end, so I was really loved. The next story is Don't Cry, Be Happy With Me Instead by Lu and Ha, and this is a story with a very strong premise told from Megumi's point of view with the 5+1 trope where he sees where he sees Satoru crying. It just didn't start enough emotion in me, and I just wish that it goes a little bit deeper into the characters' emotions so that I can feel emotional with them. So those are everything that I finished in January. So now let's talk about the work in progress. The first one is Akili Come Down by Hot Cocoa, and this is a 200,000 word Satosugu piece. And if you guys are into Satosugu, and I've already mentioned this before, but it's very rare that you come across a longer Satosugu piece with a very strong premise. This is a time travel piece with heavy angst, and I'm like 26% through with this story already. The problem that I have with this is the author has a very unique style of writing, and my unsophisticated brain couldn't really comprehend this writing style, so I take always a couple tries before I get what the story is going. But I'm still super curious about what's going to happen. Still want to finish this story, and that's why I want to mention it to you guys, you know, for responsibility. Next is Pride and Prejudice, and this is a no intro type of item, but I have the same problem. The English grammar and the vocabulary that we have in here, like it just bogged my brain down so much. So I take so long trying to like look up the vocabulary, writing it down so that I can understand what the author is trying to say, but I still intend to finish this story, and that's why it's on mine. Overall, I read about 240,000 words last month and 75 pages of Pride and Prejudice. I feel like that was pretty good, especially with like multiple 5-star reads that I had this month. If you guys have any more questions about any story that I mentioned here, feel free to comment down below. But I hope that you guys have a very good time hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys in the next video.